morning, MPC. Welcome to our regular press briefing with Secretary Harry Roque, Presidential Spokesperson. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Let me begin with good news. We are pleased to announce that the Bureau of Internal Revenue and Bureau of Customs achieved significant accomplishments in their 2017 collections. A total of 1.777 trillion was collected by the Bureau of Internal Revenue, which is 97.18% higher than its revenue goal of 1.829 trillion. Meanwhile, 457.553 billion was collected by the Bureau of Customs, which is 97.7 of its 467,896 billion revenue target. So they are almost 100% of their target. Revenue generated will redound to better anti-poverty and infrastructure programs for the country. Another piece of good news, agriculture production recorded an increase of 3.95% for the 2018. The crops subsector contributed the highest percent in the total production of 51.20%, followed by livestock subsector with 17.78% and poultry subsector with 15.4%. The growth in the agricultural production has a gross value of 500.4 billion, which is 9.27% compared to 2016 gross value. We have also allotted 2 billion for MSMEs development. This is to inform our entrepreneurs or those who wish to open small businesses that a total of 2 billion will be allotted for 2 programs of the Department of Trade and Industry focusing on the development of micro, small, and medium enterprises. These programs, Pondo sa Pagbabago at Pag-Asenso, Microloan Program, and Shared Service Facilities Equipment Project will each receive 1 billion pesos. The DTI noted that the 1 billion allocation for the 3 programs, the agency's flagship's microloan program with the goal of reducing 5 to 6 lending scheme will be used to generate more loan packages for micro entrepreneurs. Okay. Update on Mayon. As of January 23, 8 a.m. bulletin of PhilVox, a total of 2 explosion-type earthquakes corresponding to vertical column eruptions, 15 tremor events, some corresponding to lava fountain episodes, 35 rockfall events, and 2 pyroclastic density currents of PDCs from lava collapse were recorded by Mayon Seismic Monitoring Network within 24 hours. I repeat, the danger zone is now extended to 8 kilometers radius. We ask residents in the 8-kilometer radius to please temporarily vacate the area. Likewise, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines released an advisory stating that Legazpi Airport is temporarily closing operations effective 2:21 p.m. January 22 due to massive ash clouds brought about by recent eruption of Mayon volcano. Thus far, the SWD recorded that a total of 12,214 families or 48,614 persons in 39 barangays have been affected. As of January 23, 6 a.m., 7,455 families or 28,846 persons are taking temporary shelter in 29 evacuation centers in 5 municipalities and 3 cities of Albay, while 1,518 families or 6,850 persons are staying with relatives in Camalig, Daraga, Malilipot, and Santo Domingo, Albay. I'd like also to announce that the DBM confirmed that as of yesterday, Monday, they released the ERA for Albay, so that the different local governments of Albay can tap their 5% contingency fund, and this release has been confirmed by Government Bichara. Now, as of January 23, 6 a.m., we have provided a total of 19,391,288 pesos to affected families and individuals, of which 16,221,000 came from the SWD, while 124,000 pesos came from the LGUs. 3,045,000 came from NGOs. As of January 23 as well, the SWD FOV released second augmentation to PLGU Albay amounting to 10,809,000, consisting of 6,503 family packs, and 2,483,000 pesos worth, and 6,503 dignity kits valued at 7,023,000, 2,000 toys valued at 194,880, and 6,503 blankets equivalent to 1,107,000. No? Members of the DSWD Field Office 5 Quick Research Response Team, in coordination with the LGU social workers, conduct daily visits to various evacuation centers to monitor the situation and to further determine other services needed by the evacuees. Now, on the SWS survey on self-rated hunger, of course, we view this latest survey with concern, showing 15.9% of Filipino families experiencing involuntary hunger at least once in the past 3 months. The Duterte administration is working hard to reduce the vulnerability of families, including hunger. We're expanding economic opportunities in agriculture, forestry, fishery sector to address the challenges of food security while improving our people's income earning ability and enhancing workers' employability through TESDA Skills Upgrade Program. We will likewise continue to provide educational, livelihood, and health assistance to poor and marginalized families, social pension for indigent senior citizens, and supplementary feeding program to augment the meals of poor students. Questions?
Okay, floor is now open for questions. First question. Okay, Rose Novenario of Hataw. Mike, please.
Sir, good morning. Sir, reaction lang po dun sa petition ng Solgen sa Court of Appeals para sa re-arrest po ni Governor Joel Reyes ng Palawan.
Well, tama po naman yung desisyon na yan. No? Kahapon ay nakita ko yung motion for reconsideration ng Solgen doon sa naunang desisyon na nagsasabing walang probable cause. No? At ginagawa naman ng gobyerno ang lahat, no, para makamit ng people of the Philippines ang katarungan dito sa pagkapatay kay Doc Jerry Ortega.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next question. Joseph Morong, GMA7.
Sir, yung IRA sa Albay, how much is it?
Hindi ko alam yung detalye, pero when I was in Albay, parang may temporary delay in the release because I was in Albay, when was that? I think it was last Thursday, no? So they haven't received the IRA for the month of January. So this is something that I relayed to DBM and PMS, and immediately on the same day, they said that steps were taken and that the IRA could be withdrawn as of Monday, yesterday.
Yesterday. IRA for January lang.
IRA for January, yes.
Okay. Wala na ba? Meron ba silang ano? What do you call that fund?
Contingency
Contingency,
fund.
yeah?
That's part of the IRA. 5% is
5%.
contingency fund.
Alright,
Yes.
cool. Sir, baka may Albay pa.
Okay, Albay-related questions. Yes, sir.
Sir, I'm Vito Basero from Manila Standard. Since President Duterte will be attending the India's ASEAN summit, is there any possibility that he will discuss the Benham rice issue, Scarborough issue?
What's there to discuss on the Benham rice issue? There's no dispute that we have sovereign rights over Benham rice.
So it will be discussed.
There's no controversy on Benham rice. There's no country disputing that we have sovereign rights over Benham rice.
Okay, thank you.
Even
Other
the latest pronouncement of the Chinese government recognizes that we have sovereign rights over Benham rice.
Other issues? Questions? Yes, Leila Salaveria, Inquirer.
Sir, the President again reiterated yesterday that he doesn't intend to extend his term.
Barilin daw siya kapag siya nag-extend ng term. O yan, naniniwala na kayo. Nagsasabi ako ng totoo, ha? Na sinasabi ko yung mga damdamin ni Presidente. Ngayon, ang instruction, barilin niyo ako pag ako'y nag-extend ng term.
So, what does the Malacañang expect Congress to do after the President's categorical statement?
Ano ba gagawin nila? Nothing.
No,
Eh di, kung ano man ang mangyayari na transitory provision, consider him out of the question. No? I don't think majority would want constitutional succession, so they better provide for a transition that would mean that the President will step down in 2022.
Okay.
So you expect his allies naman to listen to him? And
Kapag hindi
take
pa naman
his-
sila nakinig, sinabi na ni Presidente sa mga sundalo, barilin niyo ako pag ako nag-extend na 2022, ano pang gusto nila? Hindi ko na alam.
Thank you.
Follow-up question?
Sir, yung sa sinabi mo na majority does not want constitutional succession, any elaboration?
Ano yun? Ano yun?
Sabi niyo, sir, kanina, the majority does not want constitutional succession.
Sinabi ko ba yun?
Yes, you did.
Ay,
have my
sinabi ko
notes.
lang na unless gusto nila na si Leni Robredo ang mag-take over as a transition leader, eh di gumawa sila ng transitory provision that would, for all intents and purposes, make sure that we would have a new president in 2022.
Okay, sir, when we transit into a new constitution, do we follow the provisions in the 1987 as far as the holdover officers are concerned, or entirely different ballgame?
That's speculative because the transitory provisions will have to be provided in the new constitution itself.
And it doesn't have to stem from the 1987?
No, obviously it will not because they can provide for new transitory provisions. But the latest pronouncements of the president is clear. He's out of office by 2022. Unless they want Leni Robredo to take over, we better have a new leader by 2022.
Does the palace want her to?
I do not know, but the president has said he doesn't want to extend his term.
Okay. Sir,
Neither should anyone expect or aspire to extend their terms.
But sir, does Malacañang have a problem if other officials extend their term as part of transitory provisions?
Right now, the only thing the president is clear about is he will not extend his term. So let the others speak for themselves.
Sir, does the palace have a problem with constitutional succession?
None. He has said so. Diba in Vietnam, sabi nila, gusto nila si Leni Robredo. He has no problems with that. He said that in Vietnam, diba?
Follow-up, Raymond Tinaza, Bombo Radio.
So, relatedly, natawa ba kayo dun sa sinabi ni Speaker Alvarez na yung kanyang threat sa mga anti-federalism politicians na zero budget ay joke?
Hindi naman ako natawa, pero ang aming position dyan ay hinahayaan namin sila dahil gawaing kongreso yan. Pero malinaw naman kami na inaasahan namin na magkakasundo ang parehong kapulungan ng kongreso at ang nais ng presidente, bumoto ang taong bayan sa federalismo dahil alam nila yung mga issues at naniniwala sila, gaya ni presidente, na federalismo ang kasagutan sa maraming problema ng ating bayan.
Pero how do you view, considering na the federalism or the charter change is a very serious concern of the state, and here comes the Speaker Alvarez making a farce or joke out of it?
I cannot comment on what Speaker Alvarez has said because he has his own spokesperson. No? But I will say that we welcome that remark. No? Kasi ang gusto naman namin, informed choice yung pagboto ng taong bayan para sa federalismo.
Other issue?
Yes,
Sir?
Conas. Okay. Follow-up on Conas.
Sir, okay, sinabi mo naman na yung whatever procedure the House at least follows as far as changing the Constitution is concerned is up to them, the legislative branch, no? Pero what do you think of Speaker Alvarez's position that in the Constitution, wala dun yung Constituent Assembly? It just says 3/4 of Congress.
Mali ka. Ang sinasabi niya is yung Constituent Assembly kasi is a mode
Number
of
one, the mode, right?
proposing revisions or amendments to the
Correct.
Constitution. So it is provided in the Constitution.
CONAS with Senate.
Well, ang tinatanong mo is yung position na joint voting.
Hindi, okay.
Pag ikaw ay nag-convene as CONAS, ang tinatanong mo is, his position is, literally, the Constitution provides for joint voting. Well, literally, that's what the Constitution provides, no? But I think it is also clear that there was a drafting error. That's why the Speaker was blaming the drafters, no, for the drafting error. And I reiterate my point that there are two views here. One is literal interpretation of the Constitution, in which case they have to vote jointly. The other is discerning the true intent of the framers and the people when they ratified, in which case it should be separate. The issue will be submitted to the Senate not the Senate, to the Supreme Court for adjudication.
So right now, you can't say with the position whether it's A or
Both
B.
are equally feasible.
Okay, but can,
Both are equally tenable, and I can argue both sides equally.
all right, rephrasing my question, can Congress, meaning the House, okay, can the House of Representatives proceed with amending the Constitution without the Senate participating?
Well, I think that's something that both houses of Congress must discuss. No, from my brief experience in Congress is not just deliberative; it's consensual. You need to build consensus, and the same consensus building will have to be resorted to between the House and the Senate on the issue of how to move forward with Constituent Assembly.
So just last on this subject now, may instructions ba si Presidente, at least sa House, to maybe fast-track the process?
Of course, it is a priority of the President. No, it is an administration-initiated bill, but the President has not said how to do it. No, we leave it to the leadership and the members of Congress.
So kaya medyo aggressive itong si Speaker Alvarez is because of that direction from the President?
Again, I can't speak for Speaker Alvarez, but I reiterate and confirm that this is a priority of the administration.
Okay.
Other questions? Yes, Sir Deo.
Sir, magandang umaga po.
Magandang
Sir,
umaga.
sinabi niyo po, sir, na priority ng Presidente yung pagpapalit ng ating saligang batas. And yet, meron po tayong hindi magkasundo na Senado at ang House of Representatives regarding the mode and all other things. Paano po may strike ng balance ng Malacañang yung rift na yun between the Senate and the House of the Representatives? And paano po bang kakausapin ng Presidente yung kanya mga allies para magkasundo sa isang adhikain?
Well, unang-una po, talaga pong independyente ang Kongreso sa Ehekutibo. So hahayaan po namin silang magresolba ng hindi nilang pagkakasundo dito sa isyong ito. Ang Ehekutibo naman po, implementation lang kung ano mapagkasunduan ng Kongreso. No? So, sa usaping ito po, pati ilang mga mahistrado ng Korte Suprema ay nagsasabi na baka pati hudikatura hindi po pwedeng maghimasok sa isyong ito. Talagang tanging Kongreso lang ang dapat magresolba ng isyong ito. At yan po ang paninindigan ng Palasyo.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Raymond.
I think the morning, you were quoted as saying na yung or allegation na intervention di umano ni Secretary Bongo sa frigate deal. As you were quoted as saying na parang part ng destabilization against the administration. Can you expound, sir?
Saan po ako na-quote niyan?
Parang may nakita kong story kanina na parang may connection doon sa destabilization, possible destabilization against the
Ang
administration.
sinabi ko po ay lumabas ang issue na yan right after the issue of Rappler, and as you know, it was raised here first. I was not aware that there was any earlier write-up, as pointed out by Leila. I did not know about that. So as far as I'm concerned, it was first raised in this press briefing by the reporter of Rappler, and what I said is apparently, in an effort to make their money-making scheme, which the SEC declared as violative of the Constitution, no, in their effort to make this into a press freedom issue, they have resorted to offense as a best defense, and that's why it was Rappler, the Rappler reporter, that brought up the issue here, as far as I'm concerned, for the first time. No? I was not aware it was raised previously. I checked the printed edition of Inquirer for the day that it was allegedly first raised. It was not there. It was, I think, online. No?
So, categorically, just to clarify na you are not saying that there is a concrete or possible connection of the frigate deal to the alleged destabilization.
Well, ako naman po, personal na obserbasyon, parang kung sinasabi nila na naging press freedom issue yan dahil nagkakasabay-sabay daw mga pangyayari, pwede ko rin sabihin yon na ang mga issues na binabato ngayon sa mga administrasyon, nagkakasabay-sabay at nagpapakita na parang may hirit na naman na i-discredit itong ating administrasyon. Kami naman, pagdating naman dito sa communication, bumato sila, sasagot kami. At ang aming sagot dyan sa issue ni Secretary Bongo Unang-una nga, tapos na yung kontrata na yan. Panahon pa ng Aquino administration. Pangalawa, kapag may reklamo po, talaga naman pong binibigyan ng atensyon ng palasyo yan. Hindi po pwedeng isang tabi. At kaming mga nasa palasyo po, I feel strongly for this issue because I'm similarly situated. Dahil wala kami mga portfolio, all that we can do is to refer any and all complaints to the line agencies. At yan naman po ang ginawa ni Secretary Bongo at ng kanyang opisina.
Okay, Philip Tobeza, Inquirer.
Sir, good morning po. Follow up lang po dun sa Scarborough. Sabi po kasi ng China, it will take necessary measures after nung passage nung US warship near Panatag. And one of the state media, yung Global Times, mentioned that one of the measures that could be taken would be the reclamation ng Scarborough.
Well, again, yung reclamation pong yan, kung itutuloy, will have an impact on the obligation of good faith. No? So we hope that doesn't happen because so far we think China's commitment not to undertake new reclamations and build artificial islands is being honored by China. And I hope that the obligation of good faith continues.
Okay.
Ay, follow up na sir. Sa Benham po, kahapon si Senator Pangilinan asked kung ano daw po ang makuha nating gain by allowing China to conduct research sa
Ano bang
PH
nakukuha ng gain pag nakakaroon ng scientific research? It brings us closer to the truth, gives us a better understanding of what Benham Rice has, gives us a better understanding of how we can better utilize the resources of Benham Rice.
Bakit daw po kailangan China pa yung mag-conduct ng research?
Because
Bakit
only
hindi
China has
tayo?
qualified so far. There are other applicants, unfortunately, they did not qualify according to fixed guidelines already set by the government.
Bakit daw po hindi Filipinos on their own?
Because no one has applied and no one can do it because apparently it's capital intensive. You do not need a permit for any Filipino corporation to conduct scientific investigation in Benham Rice because it is ours. So that's not something that a consent has to be given to by the government. No?
Thank you, sir.
Alvin Baltazar, Radyo Pilipinas.
Secretary, magandang umaga po.
Yes.
Sa reaction lang po doon sa sinabi ni Senador Antonio Trillanes na yung increase daw sa salary ng mga pulis sa kasundalo was not through the efforts of President Duterte, kundi ng nakaraang administration.
Nakakatawa po yan. Pangalawang taon na po na wala na ang administrasyong nakalipas, no, bago po naibigay yan. So, ako po'y natawa sa ganyang sinabi. Dahil tanging si Presidente Duterte lang naman ang nangako na doblehin at nagkaroon naman po ng katuparan doon sa kanyang pangalawang taon sa panunungkulan.
Okay. Sheila Frias, IBC 13.
Sir, good morning po. Just on the Philippine economy, it grew in the fourth quarter of 2017, it grew by 6.6%. And for the whole year of 2017, it grew by 6.7%. However, it is lower compared to the 2016, which is 6.9%. Balanced reaction po.
It's still the second fastest growing economy in the whole of Asia. It's still something that we're very proud of. And I'm sure this economic growth has contributed to the sense of optimism. 96% Filipinos view the new year with optimism, and it's also responsible for the all-time high acceptance rating of the president, approval rating of the president.
Sir, but why is there a slight decrease in the GDP?
Well, to begin with, it's negligible, no? It's 0.2, okay, 6.9 to 6.2, no? So it's negligible, but we met the target. So even the target really was lower than the actual performance. So there's nothing wrong with that. We're elated.
Okay. Any more questions? Yes, Joseph?
Sir, just on the PDAF, no? Si JLN I think she had a birthday yesterday. And then she had a letter, and then she alleged that she gave Senator Drilon some 10 million pesos before in the campaign kitty. First, your reaction on that?
Well, I think it's something that should be investigated. This is information which, for the first time, was revealed by Janet Lim Napoles. And I think The Constitution, in providing for accountability of public officers, is the legal basis for the relevant government agency to conduct an investigation. I would hope that the Ombudsman on its own would conduct its probe, and I think the DOJ also on its own should also conduct its own probe,
Based on this claim.
based on the statement.
Sir, the president in May last year said that he wants the truth to come out with regard to the PDAF scam, no? And we want that. I mean, let the axe fall where it may. Pero sir, is this letter a clue as to what the DOJ may be doing? Meaning
Again,
reopen the investigation and all that?
I do not know, I do not want to speculate, but obviously, Janet Lim Napores is the central figure in this scam. Let her speak, and I'm sure that in addition to what she has to say, she would have physical evidence to back up whatever it is that she alleges.
Follow-up, Rose?
Hi, good morning uli, sir. Sir, hindi ba nagtaka yung palasyo dahil si dating DBM Undersecretary Mario Relampagos pinayagang magbiyahe ng Sandigan Bayan sa kabila ng 300 plus cases po kaugnay sa pork barrel scam yung kanyang kinakaharap. Tapos ngayon po nagpahayag siya na hindi na raw po siya babalik sa bansa. Ano po yung reaksyon ng palasyo?
Wala naman kaming problema dyan dahil pwede naman ipa-revoke ang kanyang passport at pwede siyang ipa-extradite kung kinakailangan. Kaya nga meron tayong ganyang mga kasunduan gaya ng mga extradition treaties. No? Kung sa Amerika yan nagpunta, madali lang yan ma-extradite.
Ipupush po ng palasyo yung posibleng extradition laban kay Yusek Relampagos.
Ang prosecution po kasi nito ay nasa ombudsman, dun sa special prosecutor. So alam na po siguro ng special prosecutor yung dapat gawin kapag malinaw na nag-jump bail na itong si Relampagos o di naman kaya ay talagang tumakas na, no? Naging fugitive na siya.
So may
Established
panawagan
naman
po,
po ang proseso.
may panawagan po kayo kay Yusek Relampagos.
Well, kung ikay inosente, bumalik ka at linawin mo yung pangalan. Pero ang mga tumatakbo ay usually umaamin na sila guilty. Ikanta lang naman niya kung ano talaga nangyari dun sa nakaraang administrasyon. Titignan naman natin kung merong mga pamamaraan, no, na mabawasan ang kanyang pananagutan. Pero ngayon, flight is evidence of guilt.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other
Except
questions?
for that division of the Court of Appeals that decided on the Joel Reyes case.
Yes, Leila?
Sir, yung on the reopening of the PDAF probe, does the palace just want it limited to Senator Drilon? Because if I remember correctly, marami pang names that cropped up earlier but haven't been investigated.
No, we want the whole truth and nothing but the truth to come out of this PDAF scam.
Since the DOJ will be the one conducting it, magkakaroon ba ng instruction from the palace to investigate this as widely as possible and not limit it to members of the
Well,
LP?
let me clarify. No? The DOJ can conduct its investigation, but all that it can do is to submit its findings to the Ombudsman because the Ombudsman would still have to be the one to conduct preliminary investigation. Okay? So, medyo options are limited, but certainly, I'm sure the DOJ will be true to its mandate and will proceed with case build-up by investigating this.
Okay. One last question. You done? All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Secretary Harry Roque, Presidential Spokesperson, and also MPC. Back to the main studio of PTV4 and Radyo Pilipinas.
See you next week, except for those going with us to India. No? Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.